Hello everybody and welcome. It is of course the Star GB Open House event, and Rowan and I have got a really busy day ahead of us, haven't we?
We've got a lot going on today.
We've
got a big tour at 2 o'clock I'm really looking forward to.
You know what, the best thing is about the live streams is getting you into the Star facility and basically getting you into the machines. Before we begin and before we start our first interview, you've been taking a little tour and researching some of the machines. So what is the one thing that's really stood out for you already?
Yeah, so as you said, we've been talking to Alec today, taking a quick tour about around the tech centre. It's my first time here. It's amazing how many machines they can pack into actually quite a small space in the showroom. One of the most exciting things is probably the eccentric turning feature, which is going to be shown on, I think, the SB26 Type E. SD26 Type E, I apologise. And that's a brand new machine for the UK. And the eccentric turning is a really cool feature. I've not seen that before on a lathe before, so that's going to be really exciting to show. There's also a preview machine that no one's going to see, no one can see, even buy in the UK yet. It's a preview to get feedback from customers. There's also another brand new machine, which is going to be it's the SP23. Is that correct?
Correct.
Thank you, Steve. SP23. I've got the master right here. I've got to make sure I do the model numbers right. So there's going to be some really good machinery to show off. There's also some really fascinating software like Step Cycle Pro we're going to be talking about, and also some vibration monitoring from Karen Engineering, which is a new supplier in the UK. It's going to be quite interesting as well. So that's for micro machining as well. So there's lots of different applications, lots of really new technology. It's going to be interesting to see.
Yes, we're going to go into quite a lot of finite detail for you, almost to imagine that you are here at the event. But if you would like to get interacting with us, then you are always welcome to. Just write a comment below, and we've got all the technology so we can see your questions. They come up on our screen and we can ask the professionals. So talking of professionals, it's a nice you love this, don't you, Steve?
Yes, favourite part of the whole event.
Yeah, Steve doesn't really enjoy going on camera. However, we do force him sometimes with a bribery of a coffee. So, Steve, I hear that you had a record year, so a massive congratulations to you. Has the climate changed in terms of over the last year? Because, of course, we were here last year, but you had the knock-on effect from COVID and everything. So how do you feel, and why do you feel that you've had such a successful year?
No, you're correct. I mean, by the time this year finishes, we will have broken all our records. Last year was the highest ever order intake. This year will be highest ever deliveries. I have to be brutally honest, there's a bit of a slowdown now, but, you know, I think, as you said before, a lot of that was post-COVID, work being reshored. We were fortunate we got a really diverse customer base into many sectors. So it's really difficult to pinpoint one reason why, but... And there's a lot more interest now in sliding head technology to 5-10 years ago. People are more open to it, whereas before, as we've said before, it was always looked on as a bit of a black art, but it isn't. It's just turning. So,
talking about that then, why do you think, or what would you say to people, or what is it that people are noticing that sliding head technology does for them?
I mean, there's a huge look into automation. Well, we've been automating for years just by having a bar feed. You know, we sell machines that are automated. You don't need as much manpower. So that I think that's been a major thing. You know, the cost of employing people, etc., etc. Whereas, you know, you can have a bank of machines with 1 or 2 people running them. Whereas predominantly fixed head or like milling machines, you've got manpower, and that's a cost, and it makes you difficult to be competitive with, you know, cheaper countries.
You know, I have noticed as well, you know, we do go out to a lot of your customers, and you will see a bank of sliding head machines. It's not 1 or 2. You know, you see customers, and there's quite an array. So you grow with your customers ultimately.
Yeah, to be truthful, our machines are lonely if they're on their own. You know.
Like us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, it's you know, one tends to get 2 because, you know, especially the new customers that, you know, once they've got one, they don't realise what they can do, and then suddenly they fill that capacity, and within 6 to 12 months they're often coming back for the second one, which, you know, for us is great.
Yeah, of course. Just to give you a heads up as well, we are going to be speaking to a Star user and also a software provider, and also we're going to learn a little bit more about your Step Cycle Pro. So just a couple more questions for you. Your new technology you mentioned, it was the SP23. Can you tell me about this and why have you got it here at the open house?
Well, it was shown in EMO, so we've decided we'd bring it over. I think it's going to be a popular machine. It's quite an early entry machine in the way of price, capable, inch capacity. There's a lot of people still make quite simple components. We don't need 10 axis machines for everything. So yeah, I think there's a gap in the market for definitely for Star. You know, other manufacturers make machines similar. So yeah, I think it'll be quite a popular machine in the UK.
And Rowan, what did you learn about, the SD26? What was it you mentioned earlier?
So the SD26 is down in the corner. We're going to be looking at it a little bit later. It's got a big FMB bar feeder on it. And the interesting thing is eccentric. You're doing an eccentric turning part. You're doing like a little tiny crankshaft, which is absolutely fascinating. And on one side you're milling an eccentric boss. The other side you're turning an eccentric boss. And normally turning eccentric boss, there's one machine I can think of, like an SW machine. It's like a big milling machine that does something similar, but you've got to have real fine control of the motors on every axis, on the spindle synchronization with the x-axis. There's not many machines that can do that in that size of machine. But I'd be interested to find out what kind of components that would be applicable to, because you could mill an external boss, but I guess if you need a turned finish on that kind of feature, then you'd have to eccentric turn it, which would need a special jig or something in a standard lathe. It'd be a real nightmare feature to make.
It would, but that's the million-dollar question, finding the component that requires it. But no, it's, Star and other companies moving on technology, just trying to be that bit more innovative. It's not going to be an option that fits everybody, but there will be people who can benefit from this.
It's very specialist, but I think it does just go to show the absolute fine precision and control that you have in synchronizing all those different axes at a huge, I guess, a ridiculous RPM as well, to achieve a great cutting speed on a small diameter.
No, I must admit, when I was on Friday looking at the machine and myself, I'm stood there just thinking it's a degree of wizardry going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So.
I think you need a job at Star.
I wouldn't mind one, yeah. It sounds good. If you had a record year, it sounds pretty good.
I don't think we can actually employ somebody just sat here. I think Mr. Jones might be here a little bit not impressed.
Maybe.
No, we won't be happy. Just one more as well. Team members, they've come over from Japan. Why have you brought people over from Japan?
Well, some of our colleagues haven't had the opportunity to come, so it made a good opportunity for them to come here, see what we're about. We're a wholly owned subsidiary, so it's just nice for them to put faces to names. They deal with these people electronically day in, day out, so it's nice. We've got some colleagues from Switzerland arriving today as well.
But they're also previewing, aren't they, the new SK51?
Shh.
Oh, okay. We won't mention.
We're going to keep it quiet.
No, Star have never hidden behind the fact that they'd like to try and get into different markets, and fixed ed is one. So we've decided that we'd like to, show it here and gain feedback of what our customer base believe. If it's something that's of interest, and
Absolutely.
if it is great. So it's a bit of a fact finding. Thing for us.
That'd be really good. Also, if you've got any comments on that or any questions regarding that, then again, please do write in. Okay, you like Christmas, don't you, Steve? It's your favourite time of the year.
No, I don't. You know that.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
No, I don't. So, but you've made something really special. So, what's this? Because
that's a Christmas tree.
You're it is, yes, but slightly different. So, come on, tell us more.
I can't take any credit for anything that happens here. This open house is done by, an amazing group of people who plan, design, make these things, put the whole thing together from getting machines here, marketing, catering. I'm so fortunate. This is all done. We've got some superb people, and year in, year out, they come up with different ideas. I mean, the guys were here Saturday working on this because some of the machines didn't arrive till Friday, and that's testament to the people we employ, that's what they do to try and put on a nice show.
But they're willing to do that, but also if you think that's testament to the engineers that you've got on site that help back up all of the machines for purchases.
No, we're very fortunate with the people we employ. Yeah, it's we'd like to think that they all buy into the ethos of what we are, and they go above and beyond on a daily basis. I mean, that's our biggest USP, the service and support.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Steve. You didn't really
Pleasure.
want to go on camera, did you? And you were like, oh, I've got a meeting, so we've got to be quick.
I have got
was it that bad?
No.
No, it wasn't. Never is. Thank you so much. And what we'll do is we'll pass you over to one of the team members, Chloe over there, because we're going to have one of your customers come on very shortly. So thank you so much, and I wish you the best of luck at the event.
Thank
you very much, Steve.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
So, Rowan, we're going to be talking about SolidCAM in a few moments' time as
We
well,
are, yeah.
but also Step Cycle Pro. Is there anything that you kind of feel like you've picked up from walking around people talking about Step Cycle Pro?
Yeah, Step Cycle Pros, it's fascinating because it synchronizes the x-axis and the spindle movement, synchronizes those and oscillates those at the same time so that the waveform around the component means that, because you get a waveform on every component when you're machining, because there's natural vibration in the machine process. I'm probably going to go too much detail.
No, I like
here.
this. Yes, you are.
Basically, you improve your chipping, so you don't get bunching of the swarf and the chips in your material, in your part component. Instead, because the tool is actually in fresh air, kind of every maybe microsecond, every millisecond, I don't know, but because it's doing this waveform over the material, it's almost like an intermittent process, more like milling, so you get these little chips coming off no matter what your feeds and speeds are. Step Cycle Pro hopefully will improve your chipping, meaning you have much better lights out process stability.
That's exactly what it is.
In a minute.
You can tell he's got it all in his head.
I'm trying.
Right, okay, so we've got the customer ready. So this is, I did have your name here.
Ali from
Harwin.
Harwin.
That's it,
There we
sorry.
go. So I'll pick it up.
There we
Lyndsey.
go. So Ali, can you tell us your story and how you began to become a Star user?
So myself, I started at Harwin 20 years ago as an apprentice, worked through the company, worked in all the different areas. So we have a lot of machining in our company. So we have CNC turning, CNC milling, we have mould shops, we have press shops, we have plating shops, all piece part assemblies to make our final connectors. So I worked through the company for 20 years for an apprentice, finally got into planning and then moved up into production management in the last year. So I'm the production manager for all our manufacturing sites at Harwin.
Wow.
So, and the turning shop is one of them. About 5 years ago, we moved into a new purpose-built facility, and we've now got 49 stars on site.
I'm sorry?
We got 49 stars on site.
It's huge,
49.
absolutely
Yeah.
huge.
You know what? And that actually echoes what I said at the beginning. It's not like you have one Star machine, it becomes a family of...
When we moved into the building, we had 26.
Oh, wow.
So we moved with 26.
Yeah.
It was purpose-built, as I say. It was took us about a year to finally get everything up and running, but we now have, 49 machines on site. We've got a training academy in there. We've got apprentices running. We've got a new manager in there now who's come through the apprenticeship program, which is fantastic. So, yeah, really, really good facility. And obviously the support we get from Star's amazing.
So it's interesting with 49 different kinds of machines. They're all be slightly different models, different
Absolutely.
axes.
So
with
we've got
stars.
from 7mm machines all the way up to a 26 machine. But 26 quite large for us. We tend to do more micro turning.
Okay.
So we really are in the small connector industry.
The
We don't do
components
large.
are really fascinating.
Yeah, I always say to people we make sort of small parts that go in really cool projects. So we've been in Formula One cars, we're in aeroplanes, we're in submarines, UAVs, satellites. We've worked with everyone and anyone out there in the world that needs high reliability connectors. So what we do is, we believe, the sort of best around.
Absolutely.
This is a bit of a generic question. I know it's a bit loose, but what is it that you would say that is one of the best things about these machines and why you return? And okay, yes, you've already said service and support is excellent, but let's talk technology now. What is that kind of step that, I don't know when you first bought your first Star into that journey, but what makes you stay with them and that evolution?
So reliability is absolutely key to what we do. We mass produce. We don't turn 4 or 5 turnkey items and then go on to something else. We develop our own products, and we are making millions of these parts a year. The turning shop alone makes over 40 million parts that goes through it.
Every year?
Every year. So, and we need machines that are reliable. They have to run 24/7. We do not turn our machines off ever in Harwin. So
You don't turn them off?
we do not turn them off ever. Christmas, you name it.
Are you running lights out then?
Lights out.
365 days?
365 days a year, 24/7. So reliability, obviously the machines have phenomenal capabilities, and we can all go to it. And the technical guys, I don't set the machines personally, but they could tell you phenomenal stuff. But the reliability of it, to keep us running, we need to be running every hour of the day.
So you did mention service and support.
Service.
And we'll be honest, things happen, we know, a machinist and engineer, they will know things can go wrong.
It's the manufacturing world. It's exactly the manufacturing world.
What is it that you go, right, with reliability, things go wrong? What is it? And not just saying, they're going to turn up really quickly, but what is it? What have they got that gives you peace of mind?
Well, for starters, is that they don't actually need to be called out that often. I mean, the service and support is phenomenal. It's the fact that when it is needed, we need rapid response for what we do. Every hour is critical to our business. And the support that we get from these guys is second up. The engineers that come down themselves, we've actually got to know them personally.
Oh, yeah.
And that is a lovely touch.
Yeah.
And that is brilliant, because they then really understand what we do. They understand our needs and how quickly they need to be responsive to us. And that's really important to a business like ours that needs to be on the go constantly.
Yeah.
It's almost like an automotive line where if you're down, then that will cost a lot of money every hour.
Well, absolutely. We manufacture in the UK. We know that we have to take every hour seriously. Our whole ethos at Harwin's is, because we actually make our own machines that make the final connectors. And our ethos is automation, automation, automation. We invest into robots. We invest into the ancillary equipment on a Star machine that keeps it running. So it's not just the machine, it's all those partnerships with them that allow us to do what we're going to do. And we wouldn't know about them if it wasn't for the guys at Star that introduced us to these other amazing companies that you can work with them. So
the network,
it is exactly. The network around companies like this is, it's essential.
I think that echoes as well for the open house. There is a lot of their partners, or there are, a lot of their partners here, and it takes a family of people for it to work, It
really does. If you look at a Star, it's a whole, it's like a building block of many things, and we're lucky that we have all those partnerships, and our product comes out the end high quality and to extremely high tolerances.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And what I find interesting is with so many different kinds of machinery, training must be a big issue, and that's why you've got an apprenticeship scheme.
Absolutely. So at Harwin, apprenticeships has been key to our business for 20 years. As I say, I was part of it 20 years ago, one of the first, our production manager of it. We've probably got something like about 25 to 30% of our staff have been through it. We work really closely with our local colleges as well to make sure that we're getting all the students. So our local college near us, all their students have their sort of work experience. They come to Harwin, they learn the machines. The real areas that we've done it, Star and using turning machines, has been huge. We currently have 6, which is about 60% of our staff in our shop at the moment, either have been through it or are currently on the apprenticeship programme. All of them then get training days at Star. Most of them have been up to this facility or the previous facility to do work with like the applications engineers and that sort of stuff. And then now we've just had our latest 4. The guys from Star have come down and they actually spent 2 weeks with our trainees.
Wow.
We're going to hopefully get some more time out of them soon.
That's some dedication.
This will help me sway them a little bit to get a bit more out of them.
Yeah, exactly. So Star is also good for you, reducing your staff turnover and keeping people happy and trained up and feeling like they're progressing personally as well.
The way the world's going now, staff turnover, we are in a sort of world where people don't want to stay in a business. You hear about it, change your job every 7 years. We're very lucky. Where we're constantly changing our machines, evolving as a business, you've got to keep that interest in your staff that they don't want to look elsewhere. We went from hand assembly to robots in 15 years. It's huge. If you can keep that sort of buzz and excitement within a business, hopefully we will retain that staff. And the apprentice program for us is absolutely huge.
It seems like you're very far on your kind of production engineering process journey. You're almost at this process is stable. We're making millions of components a year. What would you say if you were to talk to a potential customer that maybe has never looked at a Star sliding head machine before, doesn't even know whether sliding head is right for them? They might have the right kind of components for it, but they just don't know. How would you explain to them how to take that first step?
Well, when we got our first Stars in, I was a lot younger. I was a lot younger, and I remember going in there, and it was all cam-driven technology. So it was greasy, old machines.
Cam-driven lathes.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? All this technology that is dying. It was extremely fast, extremely unreliable, and you get a lot of people that love it because it's absolutely fast, and you can turn over your product really quick.
Yeah.
But if it's stopping every 5 minutes, your product is not 30-second cycle time. It's actually 5 minutes cycle time. They wouldn't run overnights. If you're going to manufacture, use every hour of the day. That's what you're going to get out of a Star. You are going to get every hour of the day. If you use it correct, you will be able to run. You'll be able to walk away. We have 10 people. We have 49 machines. That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you would have had double that, if not treble, if you wanted to run a night shift. And that's running every day of the week.
Yeah. And subcontractors maybe find it hard to get those contracts where they've got things they can make reliably monthly. But moving into getting a sliding head machine, that capacity allows you to take on those contracts.
Yes.
And those contracts are much easier to service than like a one-off here, a 5-off there, on standard kind of VMC work.
Right.
So, we don't really, we flip it the other side. We kind of don't really take in from outside on the turning because our actual final end product is so large selling from out there that we're forever looking to buy more and more just to suffice what we do. But we sort of do that in-house. We almost treat our turning shop like a sort of subcontractor outside.
Yes, yeah.
Sort of have 5 businesses in one.
Wow.
What a success story.
Yeah, real success story. Ali, thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. And also, there's going to be some hot dogs at lunchtime as well. So
enjoy the treats, though.
Brilliant. I won't say no
and
to that.
freshly fried onions should be quite nice.
Oh, gosh. Right, thank you so much,
Thank you.
Ali. Thank you. Right, okay, so next up, I believe we have got one of the Star
Stephen,
employees
from Star.
called Stephen. Now, Stephen is our professional, our pro, at talking about Step Cycle Pro. So, Stephen, Step Cycle Pro, we've kind of gone over it a little bit. Well, Rowan has. However, can you tell us a little bit more about Step Cycle Pro and the technology?
Okay, so SCP, Step Cycle Pro, essentially oscillates the axis movement in synchronization with the spindle rotation. And this allows for materials that notoriously are difficult to chip, such as stainless steels, Inconel, polymers. It forces it to chip. So it's revolutionary, really, because if you think about lights out machining or just an 8-hour run during a shift pattern, the danger is swarf. That's the problematic area. If a machine is to be down for 3 hours due to people having to sort the swarf out, you've lost that in production. So the Step Cycle Pro just gives companies confidence to leave the machines running through the day, and then also extra confidence to say, hey, let's try lights out. So it's a win-win, and it's been out there now for a while, and the results are
I think you've got over 100 or quite up towards your year.
I believe the latest figures are 75% now of machine sales have Step Cycle Pro, and that's jumped significantly because of the feedback direct from industry. So,
how do you think your technology is evolving? Where, for people who have actually got a lot of your machines, where is this technology going? Where is the sliding head world going, do you think?
It's going automation. That's the main thing. It's companies looking to be more efficient, more productive, for a longer amount of time for less overheads. So it's business, it's good business sense. And again, what stopped that was coming into a machine in the morning with bird's nest material, having left the company at 5 and got till 5:30 worth of parts. So now you're coming in with a bar feeder empty of bars and a big tray full of money.
Absolutely, it is. Process stability is such an important thing, like you say, when you're working with those difficult to cut materials. Do you think some companies previously would have shied away from an Inconel, from a stainless? They're difficult to cut anyway. You get a lot of tool wear. It's hard to kind of tune in the process.
100%, because of the fact of the difficulty to machine it. And Step Cycle Pro has also proved to increase tool life because of reduced temperatures, because it's not constantly at one force. It takes a base speed and a base feed and then oscillates around that. So it's force on, a little bit off, that kind of thing. So,
so not only is it bunching, you've got tool wear improvements as well.
Yes, so it's a win-win 4 or 5 reasons, really.
There's always trade-offs in engineering, though.
course.
I know that previously with in the industry and sliding head industry, there's been other systems a little bit like this, and I've heard that they could potentially affect your cycle times.
Yes, and our Mark 1 version of Step Cycle Pro did this, where it just fluctuated the feed rate. However, the Japanese, and I don't understand fully the maths behind it, but they've worked out a way in which you're actually speeding up. So you're not just slowing down, you're speeding up and slowing down.
So you can kind of offset that cycle time.
But I know you want your cycle time improved, don't get me wrong, but if you're having an overnight run and you're keeping a stable process, then, because that's what Owen at Armeg said to me, and he said, okay, we wait on there, but in the long term, the bigger picture, it works out far better for us with our tooling and our machine capabilities.
Yeah, very good point.
He just said that you look at the bigger picture and it's changed our world. So
yeah, I agree. If you was to say, okay, we're losing 5%, if we're losing 5% on our cycle time, but we've not had no downtime, win.
Yeah.
But also, it doesn't actually reduce your cycle time in 95% of the cases. Sometimes you might have to back off a slight bit, but then you're going to continue running. So, win-win.
What's your role here at Star?
I'm an applications engineer. I've been here 3 years now.
Yeah.
And, during an open house, my role is just to assist, try and answer all your questions, and
run some of these beautiful components off as well.
Yes. Yeah, run off the Christmas tree, which has gave us all sleepless nights for a few weeks.
Yeah, Steve was praising the whole team and design, manufacture of this beautiful component.
Stephen looks so happy right
it
now.
Looks quite smart, I think.
It does.
It looks great. It looks great.
It does. It looks incredible.
It'll be my most expensive bauble on my tree this year. Put it this
Yeah,
way.
beautiful.
Actually, that's a nice idea. There we go. Oh, I'm having that back now.
It was so nice. These have actually been very prized by the customers that have been coming in. I think they all want one, don't they?
They do. And you'd be surprised what they'll do to get one as well, because you can't leave yours on the machine for too long.
No, because they disappear.
That's why you're clutching it very tightly right now. That's yours.
Just to give you a heads up, at 2 o'clock, Rowan's going to be taking you on a tour, so you'll see all the machines in action, working. That's when you can also, we will be grateful for you to send your questions in, because then we'll get Rowan on the chairs, quiz him, and I believe it will be Matt or Alex in here who we can quiz about the machines. Just before we move on to the next person, what would you say to anyone about Star? Why would you say, our machines are the one you need to go for from your perspective?
Okay, well, it's a good question, because I've actually worked for another sliding head company.
Okay.
And I think professionally I will leave them nameless. So I've seen our main competitor, one of our main competitors, and I've worked for Star, and I can actually tell you now that Stars are a more superior product, not only mechanically and electronically, but the support aspect. I've never worked for a customer that holds never worked for a company that holds our customers in such high regard. There is nothing we won't do to support you, and that goes on to Saturday mornings even, and round the clock support, next day up and running policy. You can't fault it.
Right then, Mark, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
So tell us a little bit more about your connection with Star then.
So we've been involved with Star probably for the last 4 or 5 years. Took a lot of convincing at start to try and get them involved on there. They've been bitten before with software, making promises, not necessarily delivering all the time. And it took quite a lot of convincing to say that, yes, we're going to be different. But they've certainly taken that on board now. This is probably our third, fourth attendance for this event. Great event, lots of great customers, really well organised, so really pleasure to come to these events on there, and Star are now fully on board with us. It's actually nice to be here. They're recommending us to all their customers, so can't ask for more than that.
No, absolutely, and Star are obviously a fantastic company to work with. Machines they make, really complex, you talk up to 14 axes. These are complex machines. Is that why you need a CAD-CAM system to help you program these things? You can program them by hand.
Yeah, and that may depend on your component. If it's a very simple component, you know what you're doing, then these machines can be programmed offline. Parts are getting more and more complicated, shorter and shorter runs going on these machines. We're seeing parts now which are coming through, there's no turning on them whatsoever. They are completely milled on these machines. But the reason for using them is because they can get it off in one hit rather than going on the milling machine, have several ops. So now on these machines, they can get it off in one go. Those types of parts, you're not going to program by hand. So there's a lot more now going towards that.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you're trying to program a component on a machine, you've got machines generally not running when you're programming. Is it important for customers to have work material ready, tools ready, program ready, before the sliding head machine has finished its last run. Is that something they're looking for?
That's certainly where the industry is going on there. Obviously, the machines where you make all your money from, and if that's not working, you're not making money. So if we can do all of that up front and get all the programs ready, get all the tool lists ready to get onto the machine, so the setup time or the downtime of that machine is minimalised, then yeah, it's really worth doing.
Okay, so let's talk about actually programming these kind of 14 axis machines. There's a lot going on at the same time. How does SolidCAM help make that process quicker?
Well, we can program that, and the programming is very straightforward. You program that operation by operation, same as you would on any machine. But
I've got a fly on my mic there.
Just distracted me a minute. So that's straightforward. But where you really get the benefit on there is knowing then, okay, I can do this at the same time as that. I can check for collisions against those and really optimise your machining time then, because obviously these machines are made to cut quickly. And if we can optimise that and make that even better, benefits, everybody wins.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it works together.
Absolutely, and so with these kinds of machines, there's people who've been running these machines for a long time.
Yep.
They're used to programming them by hand or with kind of general programming G-code assistant software, which is quite basic.
Yeah.
Those people might say, they've been running for a long time.
Well, we get that argument all the time. They say the experienced people in the shops on there, well, we'll show a demonstration. Yeah, but we can program at that time. Yeah, depending on the components. Sometimes on there, no, we program it in an hour or so in the demonstration. It's taken them 2 days. So that's the reverse of it. But a lot of components, if they are straightforward, yeah, you might be able to program it on there. But these people have been doing this for years and years and years, and typically that skill age is growing higher and higher. A lot of these people now are looking towards retiring or moving on, or maybe moving out the industry as well. So that's then becoming very reliant on a very few people.
Yeah. So if you're running a company, you're hoping that experience is going to stay in the company somehow through transfer, knowledge transfer.
Absolutely, you are. Yeah. If you're then replacing them, you're replacing them with a lot younger people on there without the machining experience for the last 20, 30 years, and they are more, if you like, computer literate. They've learned through colleges or university, CAD-CAM. This is the way they want to go as well. So it's a win-win for everybody, because we can help even the experienced people, because what we're finding is, sidetrack a little bit on there, a lot of we're finding on some of the components where they used to be all turned or milled off there, and then they'd be taken off and maybe deburred offline. They're deburring on the machine now. Everything's coming off fully deburred. And it's sometimes just the deburring is the most awkward bit to program.
Yeah, because you've got to program every single edge on
and
your
usually
component.
Curved edges could be internal as well. Yeah. So if we're doing stuff for Star, half the things they ask us to have a look at are deburring cycles.
Yeah, which sounds really simple. Yeah. Sounds like, well, you should take a needle file around it. Why can't a machine do that?
Well, absolutely. And it doesn't take a fraction of seconds to do that, and it comes off completely clean, consistent, and done. So that's another sort of advantage on there. So existing people who have been doing this for years can then enhance what they're doing and give a much better component. They don't have to learn everything. We don't force people to learn the whole software on there. If they just want to take an existing program and add this little bit of code into it, SolidCAM can cope with that as well. So we don't force people to program in a certain way. We work however they want to do. It's a tool. We make life easier for them.
And I guess also, once you've got a program that's been programmed in a CAM system that knows what your machine configuration is, rather than on the control, you get some kind of simulation as well, which is something you would never get if you were programming by hand.
There's two things with that on there. You get the full simulation, so you can see the whole machine, how all the axes are working at the same time. But we also got machine preview in there, so as you're programming, you can actually see the machine where it actually is in that position. Because sometimes on there you may need to move something out of the way to get something else in, but you'll be able to preview that and see exactly where it is at that particular point.
Rather than use your 30 years of experience and knowledge or watch it collide when you go, oh, well, I should have known that.
It just gives the operator peace of mind.
Absolutely.
That's what you're saying prior to pressing.
Giving them confidence that what they're going to produce on there is actually going to go on the machine and work with minimal interruptions later on. Okay. Ideally on there, we should take the program straight out the CAM, put it on the machine, press the button and start. Now, that's not always going to be the case. We understand that because it's obviously... people may not put 100% of the information in at the CAM side of it because they're, okay, we've got to get this program out, we don't want to put that bit in there, we'll just check that on the machine at the same time. Well, that's fine, they can do that, they get the choice, they can spend a bit more time programming or they can, okay, I'll check it on the machine.
Right, Mark, we're going to have to cut you short there because
Okay.
we've got another customer who's wanting to come on
No
as
problem.
well. So, Mark, thank you so much
No,
for
it's been
your
a pleasure.
time.
Thank you, Mark.
All right.
And enjoy today and tomorrow. The open house
And
is
tomorrow.
on tomorrow, so if you want to come here, it's in Derby. You can more than welcome to come along. Obviously, you can register with Star, head to their website, or I'm sure you can turn up and then speak to the team as well. This is an interactive live stream, so if you have any questions at all, please do send them in and we can, speak to the professionals. At 2 o'clock, Rowan is going to be busy because he's got his walking shoes on.
I'm walking around the machine shop. We're going out at 2 o'clock. We're going to be seeing all the machinery. We also have a new customer ready to talk to us today.
Is this Nick? Hello,
Nick,
yeah, it's
yes.
only because I couldn't
You
read
alright?
your badge really quickly. Nick, can you tell me about yourself and your company then?
Yeah, so...
Thank you for going on camera.
It's okay, I've never done it before, so a little bit nervous.
So if you bring your microphone a bit closer.
All British Precision. We're basically a subcontractor. We do a lot of parts for Howardson and the Dennis Group, who make lawnmowers. We also
Lawnmowers?
Lawnmowers.
Really?
yes.
Okay, fair. What kind of parts are they? Go the
all sorts,
lawnmowers?
everything apart from the engine and any fabrication, we make the parts for, so all the little...
Brackets and hinges and
spaces,
fasteners.
Everything like that.
Interesting. Okay.
And where are you based?
In Derby.
So you're local?
Yes,
to
we're
here
only
as
down
well?
the road, just outside Kirk Langley.
Okay,
little
and tell
village
us
near.
about your story with Star then, because you've just purchased two.
We have, yeah. We've just bought two new ones. So we've got three originally, two ST38s and an SR20J. We've just bought the SR32s, two of them, to increase capacity because we're pretty much at full with the original ones. We've got brilliant lights out running now. The machine the other day ran for 38 hours straight, which was nice.
Wow, is that one single run making
Yeah.
one component?
Yeah.
That's a big volume.
It was awesome, yeah. It was good to see coming in and seeing it running 2 days in a row.
Still going.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. How does it feel like when you see machines, when you finally get to that level of production?
Yeah, it's been a road. I'm quite new to this game. I've done it for 5 years now, so it was a massive learning curve. But to actually come in and see it still running, it just...
And how long did it take to go from your first star? If you could tell us about your first star,
Yeah.
and then getting to 38 hours running full lights out production, what's that journey like?
A lot of trial and error. The guys here are fantastic if we ever need any help. But yeah, just basically trial and error, just little tweaks, add up. So by the third time we've run this part, like I say, we went from getting about 100 parts a go, and then it's all the way up, and it did like 3,000.
3,000 parts in one
Yeah.
go. It's amazing. That's absolute process security.
Yeah.
Tools are all dialed in.
Constant
tool wear is
improvement,
controlled.
assisted tooling, active, yeah, everything. Yeah, it was. It's been a journey, but it's paid off in the
It
end.
takes a long time to develop that kind of process, systems and process, but I think the next time you run a different part and you want to do a high volume,
Yeah.
you'll know more about the machinery
Yeah,
and the tooling.
constantly learning about
and how
it,
to get
yeah.
how to get it all working together
And
so well.
we keep it well documented as well, which is massive, so we can pass
Yeah, you
it
need to
on
write
to
that
the
down, definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
You jumped up to different machines. Was it purely for bar capacity? Because I noticed you went from 26 to a higher bar capacity. Is that right?
Yeah, we went from 20. We've got the 38s, which is quite big, and the 32s are just nice in between. So they're a bit easier to set up than the ST38s.
I was going to say, what's your favourite machine and
Yeah.
why?
I do like the ST38. It's a bit of a beast to master it, but once it's going, it's wicked. It's awesome to see that it's got 3 turrets, and just to watch it doing its thing is unbelievable, really.
Absolutely. And I remember you saying it's kind of setting is definitely a consideration when you're setting up these machines.
Yeah.
They are made for compactness and automation.
Yeah.
What do you have to learn when you first start doing running sliding head machinery? What do you have to start to learn?
Well, a lot of it, compared to a normal machine that's just got one turret, it's the synchronization of it so that it doesn't crash into itself.
Yeah, it's very important to keep your investment safe.
Yes, definitely. But
He says with a smile.
Don't tell us how many crashes you had when you first started.
no, I'm fairly well known with fire trace as well. So
Oh, really?
we've had
Nice.
a few accidents.
Better to buy a few new fire extinguishers.
Yes,
haven't you?
it's part of it, but
Yeah.
sometimes stuff happens, doesn't it?
Well, at least they stay safe though, and your building is fine.
Yeah, that's
everyone's
it.
okay. That's
Yeah.
the whole point of having
it works,
these systems.
which is a bonus.
Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it? It's funny. Yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
learned anything being here today? I don't know how long you've been here for.
I've
so.
literally just walked through the door.
You've just walked through the
yeah.
door
And
and
we've
you said
grabbed
you'd go on
you.
camera.
Yeah.
What a guy.
That's some confidence right there, some
so why
confidence.
are you here today then?
Just to come and have a look. I mean, I'm showing some of the other guys what machines we've got. So obviously it's important that everyone in the factories aren't pulling the same way. So just showing a few guys. We've sent 3 of the younger guys up earlier, and they're just having a look, see what's here, see what's new, keep up to date.
What would you say to anyone who isn't in the realms of sliding head? What was your moment where you needed to get into this area of expertise, and what would you say to someone who's in that moment that you once were?
It was just the lights out running for us, really. We've always wanted to get there, and automation without it necessarily being manned. So going from the DMG Morris that you have to stand in front of all the time to that being able to make thousands of parts overnight when no one's there as well.
Are these the same parts you were making on a previous machine, the exact same component? Because normally sliding head machinery components are very specific, and then you look at it, it's like, that's for a sliding head, it's for nothing else.
Yeah. So we've always had one. I think many years ago before I started, they had an older SR32. So they've always needed it for, like, say, those specifics. But just moving forward, we're just finding that we can do lots of different things. I mean, we make thousands and thousands of different parts every year, so...
You've got the variety as well.
Sometimes we can get, like, on the SR20, we've managed to get 5 jobs done in one day.
Oh, nice.
Really?
With all your setups and everything.
Yeah, normally setups take a long time.
Yeah. That's just the guys. Our longest guy on there's got 6 years experience. I mean, Chris, who was here with me, he's got like 12 years experience on them. So
they know how to set the machines
experience.
ready in the morning, so the changeovers are going to be quick.
Yeah.
When you want to do
and
the job.
Scheduling the work helps as well. So same bar sizes and same tools, that all helps.
The world of automation. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, you've got to plan ahead.
Yeah, that's
Thank you so much for going
It's
on
okay.
camera, walking in, going back. He's probably the bravest person here, isn't he? Thank you so much.
No worries.
So I wish you have a very good day ahead of you.
Cheers, Nick. Pleasure to meet you.
Catch you later.
Thank you.
We have got sitting here a lovely gentleman called Matt Lee. Now, Matt, tell everybody what your role is at Star.
So my role here, I'm the sales manager for the Southwest region. So I cover all of Southwest England and also the south coast of Wales as well.
In fact, I've been to one of your customers as well, so you get the seaside.
Oh yes.
Oh yes. Right, okay, so we're going to have a little talk, and I don't know if you know this, Rowan. Did you enjoy your tour?
Amazing. Lovely.
You dropped a component.
Yeah, I did drop a little crankshaft thing. They're making quite a few more. I think they can lose that one. I think it's okay.
So this is really about the life cycle of someone buying a product and kind of what it takes. So before we begin, what are, Matt, the problems that you're finding customers are coming to you with, and you're saying, right, we can sort this?
Okay, so it's a couple of different reasons. Some people want to make parts faster, more efficiently. We get some customers who want to bring work back in-house because they're struggling with lead times and quality from suppliers abroad or wherever it's coming from. And other people who just want to develop products, but they can't do it on the current technology they've got at the moment.
Okay, and so with regards to that, what's the initial phone call? What happens and what's the life cycle from that to install? How long does it take, and what's the journey that they go on with you then?
Okay, so if I do the longest version, so in terms of someone who's never had a sliding head before, so conversation will start with what size of the parts, how complex. Probably a visit would be more than likely needed to really go through it and actually see what they're trying to do, get a better understanding how the company works as well. Then from there we can look at what machine they need. If they want to go and see one, obviously they can come up here, or we can take them to reference customers as well. So that's a good thing, so they can see it all running as well.
And when it comes to reference customers, I guess they want to have similar kinds of components to the people who might be dealing with, your new customers.
Yes and no, but you've got to be careful.
You've got to be careful.
Yeah,
like
because you
potential
can't
conflict.
Absolutely. So we always ask permission. So we could talk to the right customer saying, can we come and bring these people? And if that's all right with them, brilliant, we can take them in and then let them talk to the customer, understand how their process, how it's been for them having the machine and all the experiences with Star as well.
And when it comes to new customers that have never tried a sliding head machine before, how difficult is the conversation to talk to them and say, this is maybe, it's a new piece of technology, you may never have tried it before, but this is really going to work for you. Even if you know it's going to work for them, how does that conversation go?
Sometimes it's that fear factor of something very new, very fast. When they start seeing the videos of the machines running, they are quick. Don't get me wrong. And sometimes
quick, loads of axes moving at once.
Yeah, that's it.
How do I make sure I don't have a collision when the two components of the same machine can collide if you don't program it correctly?
Yeah. So we lay all these vids. We've got that many machines out in the market. A lot of companies using it. Obviously, the work that we do with yourselves, people get to see it online. So obviously that kind of brings down the fear factor. Any kind of problems is kind of eliminated, really.
Absolutely. When they see people successful with the machinery already, doing similar parts, or not similar, not the same kind of parts, then that really helps them to trust that the solution's going to work for them. Yeah,
word of mouth as well, because we all know companies like talking to each other, and they know if someone else is doing well because they've invested in our technology. And it's like, well, I should be having a look at this.
Might be a little bit of competition there as well. They're doing pretty well with that. Maybe we should have a look at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
And then what's the next stages then? Once you've got past that, and in terms of install, and you've taken obviously maybe some drawings back or something like that, then what's the next process? Where do you go then?
Right, so again, depending on the customer, whether they're happy to start learning the machine straight away. So, organise delivery dates, get the machine installed, takes a couple of days. Training's on the machine straight afterwards, so we'd like to try and keep things fresh. So there's not so much time in between, like delivering and waiting for someone to get trained up.
No, that customer wants it up and running.
Yeah,
it's like when you buy a car, you want to get in that, you want to get driving that ASAP.
They want the green light on, earning money at the end of the day. Or they might want a turnkey because it might be beyond, obviously, their current operator's kind of skill set, or they have the lack of resources and they want to get the machine up and running as quickly as possible. So if there's a turnkey involved, also we get the machine set up here at base, do all the parts, the drawing, make sure the customer's happy with it before it gets signed off, and then it gets delivered, and then the process of the same as everyone else then.
With a turnkey though, is it also important, I guess, long term for that customer to build their own knowledge, to be able to modify that machine, modify the work setup, modify the component if they need to?
100%. They will be hand-holding to start with, especially with brand new. If there's
no knowledge, they've got to make the part now. Turnkey makes sense.
Absolutely.
But 5 years from now, when they've got a different part, they've got this beautiful machine, they want to make use of it.
You'd think, within that period, they'll be making a lot of parts. They've got better understanding of the programming. I mean, they've got the support anyway, so our guys have their phones on till 9 o'clock at night, Monday to Friday, and up to
that's not a promise, though, right? 9 p.m. You're not going to promise a text back.
Well,
you might get one. You never know. You might get one.
At the end of the day, we're here to look after industry. We've got companies that run 24/7, so they need to make sure
and lights out at 3 in the morning. If something goes down, still going to cost them the exact same as if it went down at 3 in the afternoon.
Right, I'm going to bring up a taboo subject.
Ooh.
It's not that bad. Finance, right? Financing, purchasing of a machine, don't want to know figures, but I'm there, I want a machine, how are you going to help me?
Yeah, so obviously people have to pay, but it's obviously using finance companies. We've got a couple of trusted companies that we're really close with, and so they can create a package. They talk to the customer, understand what the budget is, what they kind of pay on a monthly basis, or if there's any kind of special ways of helping out with the start of the finance deal. Yep. So there's a lot of different ways. So don't be afraid to talk to finance people. They're there to help.
There we go. And also another thing is what's happening at the moment, and we hear about it a lot, is electricity. There's a really, really big thing regarding electricity that you want to promote as well, isn't there?
Yeah, some of our headaches people you've got to spend more money on. But the good thing is our machines have got the lowest power consumption in the industry. You have to look at the figures on our flyers for that. But the other good thing with the new eco mode, as shown on the SP23 that you've seen, takes it to another level. So at the end of the day, with the lower running costs, you're not having to spend so much money to run the machines, therefore you've got more margin, making more money. Win-win.
Electricity is definitely going to be a bigger consideration moving forward.
You're full of energy though, aren't you, Rowan?
Me?
Yeah, after you've eaten, haven't you?
Yeah, I am full of energy. Yeah, maybe one hot dog, maybe 2 hot dogs down. Yeah.
You got 2 hot dogs down.
Not that anyone's counting, obviously. No one's counting.
There's more there.
Yeah, there's more to go. I've had my eye on those.
I do genuinely think at MTV though, anyone who employs a presenter, they have to have a good appetite, because we do like to eat quite a bit.
Because we work hard, Lyndsey.
Yeah,
that's why. Come on.
That's what it is. Right, we're going to get one of your customers on set now. So thank you, Matt. Is there anything else that you want to kind of say to anyone, either at the beginning of a purchase or midway through, or just shout out to industry about Star Machines?
Yeah, I think don't be afraid to talk to us. Don't think of the technology as scary. It's been well proven. We've been around a long time. We know what we're talking about. Good support, great support, I'd like to say, actually. And we got more technology coming out all the time. You know, we've got our Japanese colleagues over here previewing some of our machines as well. So, you know, it's nice to have that kind of support as well from HQ. You know, if you've got a project, pick up the phone, drop me an email, and my colleagues, and yeah, we'll be more than happy to help.
Brilliant. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah,
Thank
welcome.
you very much.
Okay, no worries.
Right, we've got a lovely gentleman that is coming on set. Now, this gentleman was here last year. He's flown over from Ireland. I believe he's flown. I haven't spoken to him yet. This is Kevin Smyth, and he's from Turntech Engineering, and he's from the south of Ireland. Kevin, thank you for joining us. I'm all right. How are you?
Been a while.
I know.
Exactly
Was it
a year.
last year? It was a year, wasn't
it was
it?
last year.
So can I just let you know that our producer, called Joff, was so excited to hear that you were returning this year to come back. Joff's over there. He's so excited.
I'm getting paid again this year.
Yeah, well, maybe. I think it'll be in the post. In the post.
In the phone.
No.
Right, okay. So, Kevin, what brings you back? And I guess, you know, for anyone that didn't meet you last year, can you tell me more about yourself and your company?
I'll be honest, the market in the last 12 months has changed. There's a lot less work out there. Prices are getting tight, our customers are getting anxious looking for price reductions that we can't really give them, so we have to find cost savings elsewhere. What it's boiling down to is we're having the machine parts smarter, faster and better. We have to reduce overheads like scrap and waste and all the rest, and we're just having to run a tighter ship.
So every part of the manufacturing process you're having to focus on and trying to find this little bit of saving.
We're trying to find savings when the market is still volatile, but work everywhere has dropped a little bit, so everybody now is climbing it up everybody else's back.
I'm sure a lot of our viewers can probably relate to that.
It's making it even worse, you know. Like, it's okay if your customer's gone slow, but then when you've got the guy down the road targeting your customer now because his work has gone slow, then now you're even more at risk.
It gets a lot more difficult to maintain a business.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've come over here, they've got 3 new models out. Every one of them looks like it's a viable
Kevin,
option.
can you just lift your hand up on the mic? That's it. That's perfect. Thank you.
All 3 of the new machines that Star have, we have an interest in all 3, but we're looking for new work. We need to really find out what work we can attract, and that will determine what machine we're looking for. At the moment, we've recently purchased another SR32, and to be honest, we look around. We look at the competitors all the time. We end up back here.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of people out there trying to pull on doors that say push. Guys over here teach you how to push. They teach you how to push hard.
As in, they're teaching you how to make these components smarter.
Yeah.
Teach you how to make components faster.
The guys over here are not just okay. They're all salesmen. That's their job. Their job is to ship to you a machine, collect the money, and go. But every guy you talk to over here, from Steve all the way down, they understand the components, they understand the problems, they understand the machines. They're not just saying, oh, that one.
And why is that engineering support important?
I've been using Stars since around 1988, something like that.
Wow.
I still come up with problems. You know, there'll be something you've done 10 years ago, but you haven't done it since. You cannot remember how you did it before. Yeah. And you just need to phone the guy up and say, you know, and you'll be asking him, sometimes you'll be asking him complex questions, sometimes you'll be asking him very mundane, simple questions. They always have the time. My young lad has just come in as a manager to run the business. He just finished college and decided, yeah, this is what he wanted to do. There's a learning curve there. I don't have the time to train him. I don't have the time to pass on everything, all the experience I have. So other people are going to have to do that. We're going to have to do that with the likes of CAD/CAM systems. We're going to have to do it with people like Star. I need them to back it up. That all comes in your package. I mean, like talking about packages alone, one of the reasons we come to Star is if I phone Steve up and tell him I'm looking at a particular machine, he'll give me a price. That's that machine ready to produce a part. If I go to someone else, they'll give me a price. And then they'll remind me I need another 10 grand for a bar feed, I need another couple of grand for a swap and bear. We've no tools in the machine. They give you an honest, full out price, day one, you know what you're dealing with. And I know the support is reliable, it's there all the time, it's regular.
It's a good relationship.
Yeah, I mean, I worked for a lot of companies before I had my own company, and that's how I got introduced to Star. There are other machines out there. I don't know whether they're better or worse. I haven't used a lot of them. I have used a lot of machines that I know Star will be. I'm sure there's somebody out there that's just as good,
But the human factor is really important.
the people, the human factor, the interaction, the support, the backup, and you actually feel like they care.
Yeah.
You know, they don't sell you a machine to sell you a machine and move on. They sell you a machine to sell you another one in 3 years' time.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the way we run our business. We try to look after our customers. The customer's the most important person in the room because I'm not interested in what he bought this month or this year. I want to know what he's going to be buying in 10 years or if he's still going to be with us in 10 years.
Yeah, absolutely. And so when
they work the same way.
Kevin, last year I absolutely loved it because you sat down on the chairs with me and you were like, we're going to have a nice night tonight, all of us, and guess what? I'm going to have a nice drink, I'm going to have a nice beer, and guess what? I know all my machines are running back at home. And that was like the main thing that you were saying as well. So, you know, I'm hoping that's obviously still continuing for you.
Oh yeah, that's. I mean, look, we run 7 days a week. I was going to say 24 hours a day. In reality, it's 22 hours a day. But I might go in on Saturday for 3 hours. That machine is running 22 hours on Saturday. It's running on Sunday. There's only 3 of us that actually touch those machines, and they all run. Now, okay, you do come in on mornings when a tool is broken and you've got a bucket of scrap and all the rest. It happens, I could say, 1% of the time. You know your jobs, you know your tools, you know how hard you can push them. You might slow them down to get through the night, but you know.
Yeah. Wow, but it takes a long time to develop that experience to reach that level of process.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the point we've reached now where I know if I run that drill too fast, it's only going to last 4 hours. If I run a little bit slower, it lasts 12 hours. I have to pass that to my son Jack.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time to build that experience.
I can't follow him around the floor for the next 12 months.
No.
I need to, okay, he doesn't know what questions to ask me. I don't know what information to give him. And there's a gap there.
So it's hard to pass on the knowledge, but you know that the star can fill that gap maybe.
He has guys that are better on the stars than me at the end of the phone for when I'm busy doing something else or I'm not there. He can ring up any of these lads. He knows the engineers that install their machines and service them and did the training. He knows them by name. He has their card. He has their mobile number. He can catch them anytime.
Right. Okay. So, quick question. I don't know if you've answered it because I'm struggling to hear you just slightly. But what brings you here to this particular open house then?
The quick answer would be a plane, wouldn't it?
I didn't even hear that. What did you say?
I said the quick answer would be an airplane, wouldn't it? What brought me here? Yeah.
I know what your game is. Yes.
What brings me here is, like I said, my son has come in. We have to grow the business. We have to look forward. I know work is slow. That won't last. I mean, that'll kick on. That happens every 3 to 4 years anyway. But when we pick up, we have to be in a position to be ready to take advantage of anything that comes up. But we're after buying a new machine right now that to be honest, we probably didn't need. We could have done without it, but we have to keep replacing, refreshing and moving on.
You never know what might come around the corner.
Well, the thing is,
you might need the capacity in 6 months from now.
If a guy phones up next week and he wants 10,000 parts, I can't turn around and say, yeah, that's no problem, I'll take that job, I'll go and run and buy a machine for you. I need to have the machine before I get the order. If I don't have the machine sitting waiting, it's expensive to have spare capacity, but if you don't have spare capacity, you're not quick enough to respond to the opportunities.
You need to be ready.
Yeah. I mean, look, we could take the other approach. We could say, right, okay, things are slack, let's cut our prices, let's go out and grab loads of work. We'll fill the place, we'll be very busy, we won't make any money, we won't be here buying a machine in a year's time because we won't have any money. I'd rather just hold back. You know, you have to have a value on what you do. And we're comfortable. You know, our company is in a position where we can afford to slow down. It's not a big deal. We'll just carry on. We'll use that time to build our strategy going forward and to replace machines and to get stronger. When it does come back, we'll come out the other end twice as strong as we went in.
Yeah. And I guess you couldn't do that without the automation that you get from the machinery. Otherwise, you'd be still in the workshop today, setting up parts,
I mean,
setting
look,
up jobs.
It's not just about stars. I mean, FMB bar feeds, they're proven. They are the best bar feed. They're the most reliable bar feed on the market. If your bar feed stops, your machine stops.
Yeah, they're just as important as the machinery.
I mean, look, if your compressor stops, your machine stops. People forget about those things. They don't put any importance on it. We're a small shop. The last time we replaced the compressor was 22,000 to replace them.
Wow.
People think that's mad money. We bought a compressor for 11 grand and we bought it back up for 10 grand. That if one goes down, the other, we don't even know it's gone down. The other one just kicks in and it just runs away. Yeah. If your compressor's down, your star's not working. Your star could be 300 grand.
They don't work by themselves, those stars, do they?
Well, your star could be 200, 300,000. Your compressor's down, your shop stopped.
Yeah.
Where's your investment gone?
Yeah, exactly. To make sure you invest in the whole machine shop.
Well, I mean, the bar feeds, you can buy cheaper bar feeds. They'll work. They work. But you need reliability from the
If you want to run 22
from the
hours
front to the end of the machine.
Yeah.
Everything has to be reliable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cheap is cheap.
Kevin, what are your plans tonight? Are you all going out tonight?
I'll go and get.
Oh my goodness.
I love it.
Oh, leave that one.
Whereabouts? Where are you going?
No. You did ask. You be careful what you ask.
What are you doing tonight, Kevin?
A live stream.
I mean,
Can I come and join you?
Yeah.
no, could have answered that another way. You say to me, "What are you doing tonight?" I say, "Why? Are you into?"
Kevin,
no.
we will leave that one there. You're a menace. Right.
No, be very careful what you ask.
Okay.
She's
I
just
will.
stepped into a few minds
Oh,
there.
God.
Stepped on a few minds.
Thank you so much. We are going to have to wrap it up there, but thank
No
you
problem.
so much for coming on camera and telling us your story again. And I hope to see you again next year.
Yeah, I hope so.
Good. Good.
Look, I'll leave a space open for you next year. I'm busy tonight.
Kevin,
Thank you very much,
thank
Kevin.
you
Appreciate
so
it.
much.
Much appreciated.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Right. Okay.
I love that. What a
I wasn't
character, man. I love it.
expecting that at the end.
Well, you're the one starting it. You're the one starting it
That's why
every
I think
time.
Rowan loves him coming on to
that's
the
brilliant.
live stream. Rowan, your favourite bit of today?
What
What have you learned? Maybe one thing that you've really learned and you're just like, yeah.
The most interesting thing I think is probably new machinery. Eco mode is important, but it's probably Step Cycle Pro.
Step Cycle Pro.
I mean, Alec was saying in the tour that 75% of new machine installs have got Step Cycle
he
Pro.
says.
Because I know the technology's been developing over a number of years. I know there was Mark 1 version, the Mark 2, and I know that now I think they've hit the point where this is
it.
There seems to be little to no downside to Step Cycle Pro, and it means that shops that otherwise are just doing brass and aluminium, easy to chip materials, can now do Inconel, stainless steels.
Yeah.
And they've not got to worry about the swarf build-up. Now they've just got to worry about toolware, which everyone's got to worry about toolware with stainless steel. So I think that's a real opener for shops that don't want to take on the weird stuff. The weird stuff's going to make you more money, probably better margins. So for those business owners that are running the easy stuff, check out Step Cycle Pro. Check out even the entry-level SP23 machine can come with Step Cycle Pro. Try that. Maybe take on some Inconel jobs. Try on your first Inconel job, and I think that's definitely a new way to stay competitive.
Mine was basically when I saw a customer and they went, yeah, I've just come in, just bought a machine and they've gone home. So I think that was quite a pretty impressive thing to happen today. So
That's right.
anyway, go on.
I was going to say, it's like coming in, buying a Ferrari and then
And
wandering
then
off
just
or
going
something.
home.
Yeah, I'll see you
It's
later.
fine,
Bye,
it's
whatever.
fine.
Get it delivered next week.
Exactly. Right. Thank you so much for your tour, Rowan. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon. And we're going to go off and probably have a second and maybe a third hot dog.
Third hot dog
for
for me,
you.
I'm afraid, yeah.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.